job of those who work in that aspect of what we do here on earth as workers. So take a look. We'll be right back at 7 for headlines. There are two things that are constant in life: taxes and death. And death will come to all. But what happens after your loved one dies and you have to go deal with the mortal remains? I remember the first time I went to a morgue, it was the day after my mother passed. And it was a day that I'll never forget. They were about to start the process. In fact, they had done a little cut and there was a little bit of blood on her leg. And when they saw me, out of respect, they just stopped and they left the room. And I came there and paid my respects to my mom. Terrible day back in 2013. But what's it like to work in a morgue? What's it like to be a mortuary attendant? All those questions will be answered this morning. My guest is Mr. Richard KOFI Jordan. He's the General Secretary of the Mortuary Workers Association of Ghana. I bet you didn't know that association existed. Well, it does, and you'll be getting more from my guests. Richard, good morning.
Good morning, Kafui.
Wezo. Good to have you here.
It's true.
Okay. There's a lot of questions, and I'll get to them
just start one by one.
In a short while. So, Mortuary Workers Association of Ghana, when did you guys start your business?
I think we got registered in 2015.
Okay.
As an association and a trade union.
Okay. So you are both an association and a trade union.
Yes.
Why?
Yes. You see, as a labor organization, you need to be recognized by the law. And the laws are clear. Okay. You have to go through certain procedures. One, you go to Registrar General to be recognized as an entity. Okay. And then, because you want to talk labor issues, you have to go to the labor department and get certified as a trade union in order for you to operate as such. So you satisfied both requirements? Of course.
How many members do you represent?
Well, the entire mortuary workers in this country, we are not much, as to we are almost close to 700.
700 mortuary workers?
Yes.
How many morgues do you have in Ghana? Do you know?
Well, the government ones range between 150, 120, 150. New ones are coming though. But we also have private ones. Some are not registered, some are registered. Okay. So let's say average of 200.
Okay. And are the private workers also part of your association?
Yes, every mortuary worker. Once you work in a morgue, that's it.
So 700 mortuary workers?
Average.
Average.
I'm not sure about the figure as in Rwanda.
Any women?
Yes.
You have mortuary workers?
Currently we have about 3 of them. 1 at Apinto Government Hospital, Takwa, and then 2 at Kolebu.
Okay. What is the job requirement? What do you have to study to become a mortuary worker?
In Ghana, there is no requirement. You have to study on the job. You just have to go to the morgue and start practice. So we don't have any certified school or accredited location like a form of an institution, something. You have to go learn what is mortuary science and so forth. So it's on the job. It's very practical.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, you don't have a school, so that's what I got to do. So you go to the mortuary.
Okay, so but who invited you to the mortuary? I mean,
it's a decision by yourself. It's a decision. It's a calling. Just like the pastors will tell you they are called to serve God, we also called to serve humanity.
Okay. So you were called?
In my case, I was traveling. I wanted to have, there's this notion in Ghana that when you travel outside, you can work in the morgue and become very, successful. So when I was back traveling, I said, okay, fine, let me just have the skill. In the event that nothing happens out there, because I'm also qualified in some kind of way. In education form, I have something.
What do you have?
Accounts.
Okay.
So when I get there and it's not working, then I have to just find some mortuary and start and see if that will work out. Okay. So that's why I wanted to enter into the mortuary.
Okay, but so you traveled and came back?
No, I didn't go again. After seeing the mess, when I started learning it, I realized that, look, the mess in there is practically unbearable.
The mess where?
In the mortuary.
Okay.
At the time when I was going in, I said I wanted to try only night. I have to test whether I'll be able to stand the test of the place.
So describe your first night.
Well, I'm a man. Practically, I don't fear much. I'm not the type who always scared of things. I believe that or die be die. So I said, look, I want to have only night shift. I don't want to have day. There was a time I asked my boss, lock me in the mortuary for like a whole night. I just want to see if I'll be able to stand it.
Take me to the first day. Where was that? When was it?
It was at Tema General Hospital.
All right.
In fact, at one point I was like, because you see, they embalmed some bodies, they were standing. The shadow of that embalmed body standing alone will cause you. If you are not sure, you
So were you locked in the room that first night?
He didn't.
Okay, so you were there. Who were you working with? Paint a picture of the scene. How cold was it?
By way of test, he allowed me to go in. He would go and come once a while.
How many bodies were there?
Well, a lot of bodies, over 200.
200.
Yeah, because you have some lying on the floor. You know, when you are embalmed, what happens is that because the chemical has taken over your body, it's able to freeze it up, and it makes you like a stone. So we can keep you even on the floor for about 6 months without you having any defects. So some of them were, especially the unidentified bodies. You know, there are bodies that when they bring it to you, you don't know the owners. For instance, the mad people on the street, someone is knocked down somewhere, the police will bring the body, you don't even know them. So we call them unidentified bodies. They will be there for a long time until owners or possibly we do mass burial. So those bodies will be hanging, you have to take them off the fridge. They will occupy an space which is not necessary. So they will be there. And there are bodies that the fridges are full, even though we have owners. Maybe they will take them next week. And new ones, the business of the mortuary is that some will go, some will come. It's like first in, some will go, some will come. So if you keep some bodies for long, what you are doing is that you are occupying space for the new ones that are dying.
So then what do you do?
So you have to take off some of them, especially those that will go early. So that you let them stand or you let them lie. So
you got some, so on that day you did, what kind of work?
No, that day I was actually, was I myself? I'm not too sure. But
did you drink before you went to work?
No. Even though I do some level of drinks, but that day I wanted to be sure that if I travel, I should be able to handle it. So I was totally raw. Totally raw. Yes.
How did you feel?
I feel heavy in the process. In the time, in the middle of the night, I was like, hey, can I do this? Then I said, Charlie, if I don't try, what will I do if I go in the place? I don't want to go and come back. I want to have something. So I came out and called my boss, Mr. Ganyo. Charlie, can I do this for long?
Why are you asking him that question?
Because he is there. I mean, he's been practicing.
For how long has he been there?
He's been there over almost 10 years plus. So I know what he's going through, but it's me. Then he said, are you serious? You want to go out? You need a thing? I said, yes. But Charlie, the way I'm seeing some shadows, as if someone is just flashing and about coming on me. They're all bodies that have been embalmed. Some of them have dried up like the way Kobe. Some of them like there's no blood anymore. It's just bones and standing and like that, like skeleton and stuff in the morgue.
And so who taught you? So what exactly do you do there, apart from lifting the bodies? What exactly do you do?
There are a lot of things go in there. The mortuary is always busy. Unfortunately, people don't understand it. When you go for the bodies at the ward, some are brought from home, though. What you do first is to put the body and wait for paperwork to be done. You go through, you have to assist the family to get the paperwork done. Once that is done, there are options. You are asked to embalm the body.
Embalming means what?
Embalming means that you are actually infusing chemicals into the body to temporarily prevent it from decay. That's what it means.
How do you know what chemicals to use? Since
there's a specific chemical that is used.
Which is
in
called?
Ghana, we use what we call the formalin. The formalin. It's a subset of formaldehyde. So the formalin is what we use, even though it is toxic, but that's what we are using. It's very toxic.
Formalin. You protected? You wear gloves?
How do you protect? I mean, Ghana, we don't even understand what goes, and our leaders, in fact, I call them misleaders. They don't understand what goes on in the mortuary.
No gloves, no masks?
Some provide gloves. In fact, for your own protection, if they are not provided, you need to get some. You need to buy one.
Yeah. So paperwork is done, the
paperwork is done.
And then the options.
And then you keep the body, you are asked to embalm, then you go through the process. Some of them, because they are messed up.
What do you mean mess up?
I mean, you know what it means. Somebody
I don't
who
know what it means. What is it?
Getting to near death is an experience which is sad. Some of them, because they have pampers and stuff, they are messed up from the ward. And you have to remove the pampers first. I mean, do the cleaning and bathing of the body before you even do the embalming. Because you can't just keep somebody about messing into the fridge like this. It's not going to be.
So you clean up.
You have to clean up and deposit the pampers into a dustbin there. Some of them, because of their nature, disposed nature, let me call it traumatized nature, they will have to go through a lot of. Sometimes they bring somebody just to move out first.
You have to move out.
Yes, you can't. The scent alone, the nature of the body, the almost half disposed, smelling, the whole place is messed up. You just have to go out and then think about what to do and come back. It's a very serious thing that goes on in the mortuary. So after you have embalmed the body, you know, dead bodies don't talk. So you got to do everything yourself. Yeah, it's not the human being where you say, "Shall I move your head here?" Or what is wrong with you? No, you have to do everything. And if you embalm, you have to leave the body. And sometimes that is where the problem, most of the mortuary guys have got waist problem as I speak.
Why?
Because of the weight. Because of the weight. And you see, mortuaries, they are not employing a lot of people into the mortuary. It is assumed that at least 1-2 people can even do it. It's not true. Because to lift a body, I've seen a body where even 4 people, one here, they could not lift. The body is so huge, gigantic human being. To the extent that when you put your hand, well, you leave it. And in Ghana, we don't have any lifting equipment or something. Everything is manual based. So you can understand what we go through every day.
Waste problems.
Waste problems, the chemical problem is very serious. Most of us can't see properly because of the effect of the chemicals continuously, because every day.
How long is the shift?
As in?
When you come to work in the day, what time do you close?
I mean, do you close at the mortuary? You don't close. Even when you are with your girlfriend, you can be called that, look, you got some dead bodies around, come pick them. It's 24/7.
Did you have a girlfriend when you were working as a mortuary worker?
Well, you should have a girlfriend. Every human being should have a girlfriend. It depends on the girlfriend who is
Did
ready.
you have a girlfriend?
Yes, I have.
Did she know what work you were doing?
I have girlfriends.
Girlfriend. Did she know what you were doing?
My mother even. Let me not go to my girlfriend. Because I was traveling, my mind was not even on my girlfriend. The comment is not my input. It's not necessary.
Did she know that you were working in the morgue?
Yeah, I told her that I was going to try something, because she knows I was traveling, so I needed it.
But she didn't know you were working in the morgue?
No.
You didn't tell her?
She knows that the guy is an accountant, so...
Why didn't you tell her that you're working?
It's not a pleasant place to work. And women don't like dirty things and nasty things about men. They like beautiful place. They like men who work like you see KOFI, sitting down with a nice tie. They like it. They are not very comfortable when you tell them they are working in a mortuary. I don't think our sweetheart will like that one.
But your mom, when you told your mom?
My mom was very furious with me. In fact, my sister don't want to talk to me. My mom said, how can I take you to school? You want to go and work in the morgue. I didn't tell them I was traveling. That's the fact. I hid it from them. That I wanted to use. No. I didn't tell anybody. You know, Africa, we have some beliefs there. Once you saw I come, I said, work. So I didn't tell anybody that this is what I wanted to do. So when I don't know who told my mom, in a way, someone communicated out, they saw me and I'm working. He said, are you normal? I said, why? He said, look, how can I pay your school fees? You want to go and work in the morgue? I said, Mom, why do you have to chastise me? I mean, you should rather listen to me. My sister called me straight for a look, because she's also an accountant. She said, how
did you feel when your mom was telling you this?
I was taking care of myself. It's true that, yes, they took care of me, but I need to survive.
Were you disappointed in your mom?
I was very disappointed because she didn't understand me.
Did you tell her you were disappointed?
No. I was trying to convince her. I tried to convince her that, Mom, this is just something I wanted to have in a way, because things are tough in Ghana.
Did your buddies know, those who you studied accounting with, did they know that?
Yes, even I was going to do it, my colleague accountant, who finally, he didn't have space. He was not accepted to come and learn. It's not that he was ready to do it.
So if I want to be a mortuary worker, what do I do? I have to link up to somebody like you?
Yeah, you have to go to the morgue.
And just present myself? Present
yourself. Probably they will take you to the facility. The administrator of the medical soup, if you have to do it formal, then they have to endorse that they have accepted you to be part of the morgue, and then you go through the training.
How long does the training take?
It depends on your ability to capture. It's not fixed.
Minimum time. The fast learners, how long do they take?
Like me, maybe 1 month, 2. Yes.
Do you get a certificate at the end of your training?
Who gives a certificate? If the administrator thinks that, you have learned something here, and he wishes to give you something, he might give you what we call a testimonial, something, attestation, something small, like, this guy was here within this period, and that he has learned to embalm and has gone through the training for this particular period, and so on. That's what happens. But many of them know.
You work with chemicals. How how do people know what proportions of chemicals to use if there's no training?
It's practical. You need to be available. You need to see how it is being done.
Is everybody educated?
You don't need to be educated to know how to drink water.
But embalming a body is not drinking
Yes, but there are measurements that you got to know. Unfortunately, that is another training that we need to go to. Because you see, some bodies or some people will take more chemicals than others. For instance, there are chemicals, for instance, if somebody has diabetes and she died, it's difficult for even the chemical to go through. So you need more of such chemical to be able to preserve such a body. That's why it's important we are able to tell what actually killed the person. Some bodies are small, and once you put in a small gallon, it goes. Maybe just a small one, that's it. And to even identify the vein is another thing. That's why you need to go through the process of training.
So you guys are learning from accounts to identifying veins. I mean...
No, we are not doing accounts at the mortuary.
No, you were. I'm talking about you.
Yes, of course. I left. The debit and credit is in my mind. But the mortuary, yes, it's also part of me.
Quick education for us. What's the difference between an undertaker and a mortuary worker?
Well, it's simple. When we say, let me not say mortuary worker. Mortuary is a place where bodies, dead bodies, whatever you want to put them, because they are different.
Okay, so let us know what
Yes, I'm going to do that. Now, if you go to the morgue, we have people that are preserving bodies. We have some that are helping to assist in post-mortem. Now, the Ministry of Health, they have created something I call a mischief grade.
Mischief grade?
Yes, I call it this way, because it's not helping. They have two categories of grades there. They have the mortuary attendants. They have what we call the processors. There are people we call the processors. The intention of the intention of that particular grade, they assist in post-mortem. For instance, the cutting and the bisecting and trisecting of the body, they will be doing it. But eventually here, no.
I think it's dissecting.
Yeah, dissecting or whatever you want to put it, because they will still have to cut into pieces. So, and that grade is there, starting from the principal to the last grade, and then they have the mortuary attendant. The undertakers are those that lay the bodies in state.
Okay, that's the final process.
That's the final process.
The makeup.
So the mortuary workers will preserve the body for take home, and then the undertaker continues from there.
The process. That's the end of the chain.
That's the end of the chain. So you see, we have a chain of, we have a chain of group of workers within the particular deaf industry. From the point of deaf industry. Yes, I call it deaf industry. It's supposed to be deaf industry. Now, deaf industry starts from the point of death to final disposition. So at the point that somebody dies, somebody has to go and convey the body. That's why we have the haze people.
Okay.
And they have to convey to the mortuary people. And the mortuary people have to preserve the body. The body will have to preserve and release to families to be given to the accredited undertaker who is being chosen by the same families.
Okay. Couple of quick questions. What's the longest you've had a body stay in your morgue?
It can be there 3 years, especially litigated bodies.
Integrated bodies?
Litigated bodies. Bodies that are in court. People are in court because no one wants to bury. These families say, look, I'm the one who's supposed to do it, and they are litigating. The body still remains.
How long does it take for a three-year corpse to be thawed and
no, like I said, when you embalm a body, it changes from the fluid itself with time. You might see a body just like a cry. It's like something that is dried up. You know, some bodies have become dried up. You only see bones and the flesh attached to the bones. They be there all this while, and you can't touch them because of the fact that there are issues with such bodies. Some chiefs want to keep their bodies forever. Maybe they want to keep the bodies forever. So I don't know. So they may be there 3-4 years. The bodies are still there until they are ready to bury. The body will still be there. So Ghana, yes, we keep bodies a lot. We'll
talk about your threat of strike action soon, but I want to give you a few questions. This is from Facebook. Shandov Christopher says, what goes through your mind when you see well-endowed women who are naked?
Well, it's common sense. I mean, well-endowed woman, how is she going to explain what you mean by well-endowed woman?
Big boobs
But every man likes something nice. But at the mortuary, I told you it's work and sadness. You cannot be happy having something. If you see such women, what happens is that, wow, this beautiful woman too is gone, already. Why wouldn't you keep this one for people who are still alive? You know, I've seen one from the US. She came fresh, very, very fresh. Very, very nice. She died sadly. When they brought her, I watched this body like this. But you see, there's a secret. When women die, per their nature, there is some kind of fluid. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
So it's not very pleasant. Unless you are not mentally stable. That is why sometimes I ask that if people say that we should check all those who are, we should begin to check, like she said, social media, if you want to use, we should be able to check your IQ. We should begin to check whether people are stable before they embark on surgery.
Do you think everybody where you worked was stable?
Even in this room, nobody is stable. We are all somehow not correct.
Another question, what motivates you to do this job?
I've said it. I was traveling. It was not something I wanted to do. But when I got in, I realized that the job is actually a mess. Okay. So I need to do it and help others.
Is it true that some of these morgue attendants have sex with corpses?
No. I've said it already that it's a notion. It's an assumption that once you have beautiful women coming to you, you might want to take advantage of it.
There was a story like that in the news. Was it a fake news? A couple of years back.
Do you have evidence to back it?
No, the person was actually saying, but so you think it's fake?
That guy is supposed to be in jail. You see, when people say some things, find out whether they are correct. I wonder, that guy is from, the guy who was interviewed was from actually Cameroon. Why should we have Ghanaian mortuary attendant? You have not interviewed them. You go to bring somebody who is a Cameroonian, you interview, he's telling you stories that do not exist. That you have, before you be trained, you have to go to cemetery and sleep as part of your training. All these things do not match up. It doesn't perm up.
What has surprised you most in your work?
A lot of things. A lot of things. I don't know which one to pick, but a lot of things.
The most surprising thing?
How people are dying. Look, I wept one day at Kolebu, not because I wanted to. A young man like me and you just moved from the house, newly married, beautiful son, nice, beautiful queen, moved from the house to his banking hall, sat in his chair like this. That is the end. And when they brought the body to the morgue, the drama that the wife was causing actually made me weep like a baby. It is not pleasant to work at the mortuary. There are a lot of things that will make you surprised. And I don't know which one you want me to pick.
That was quite a surprising one, though, quite sad.
Yes, very, very sad. And you see, it is continuous. The mortuary is a continuous sadness place. You don't laugh when somebody is grieving.
So you've never, you're not happy when you're working?
No. Why do you work at the morgue and laugh and be happy?
You play music, is the music playing while you are doing your
work?
Well,
you can play. It's individual thing. Some people put radios, it's normal, they want to hear matters and so forth. But in the embalming room, if it's outside the mortuary room, yes. But inside the mortuary is solely sadness.
Smoking?
No, you can't smoke in the mortuary room.
Drinking? You
can't drink in there. You might drink partially outside the mortuary. Let's say there's a room, maybe they bring you some drink. But I don't advise that drink. In our law, it's not allowed that people should drink during working hours. Okay. Even though some conditions will demand that you nearly have to take something to survive that environment. For instance, let me give you a very practical example. 2 or 3 years ago, there was an accident at Kintapo Highway where about 60-something bodies, remember? Some
big accident.
Yeah, big accident. There's a crash with tomato, something. I remember. I was in Kintapo then. I just left about 10 minutes when the accident happened. Over 63 bodies were deposited at the morgue for 1 man. Then he became traumatized. He called me and said, "General, my head confused." Then I told him to lock the place and go home. You should go and touch the wife, have social, and then you should be thinking about what is next. Because it can be very, 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 very tricky.
It's a high-stress job.
I'm telling you.
Let's zoom into your threat of strike action. I mean, when I read this story yesterday, I was worried, and that's why we have you here.
You should not be worried when people declare strike. It's a good tool, and the law allows that when you are not treated well by GBC, you should try to show your displeasure of the treatment that the employer is giving you.
How are you being treated? What is the issue?
We for all this while, until the coming in of the association, you never heard of the mortuary workers. But they were actually being alienated. In fact, they were denied a lot of their rights. Their rights were taken away from them all over the place. Just because we have people who have been, we've charged with governance who do not themselves, should I say they are greedy or they are just, it is in their nature.
What's your issue? What do you want?
A lot.
Name them.
One, in fact, compared to other professions, which I will not do, I have never compared to anybody.
What do you want?
Money. If you want me to put it direct, want money?
How much are you guys being paid now, averagely?
I don't want to go into the average because I told you there's a mischief grade.
Okay.
In that particular sector, which we will have to iron it out and make sure there is.
But if you say you want money, how much do you want?
No, we have negotiated something. Last year, November, we had an understanding with government, endorsed by both parties. 3 allowances were approved. 2 has been paid. It is paid to only one group of the workers I'm talking about. Another group have been denied, which are the processors. Meanwhile, the agreement is that all mortuary workers are supposed to be paid, taking effect from January this year, 2021. So that level is there on our neck. And then remember that when the president was announcing the coronavirus package, he talked about frontline. You cannot take away MORGUE as not being frontline.
You are super frontline.
In fact, super frontline.
Okay. And
so,
you didn't get your frontline allowance?
No, not at all.
Okay.
In fact, it was agreed that we do a reconciliation of the list because then the Ministry of Health has claimed that names have been presented and that they have paid. But as I speak to you, they have refused to do reconciliation for whatever they are hiding.
So no reconciliation, and it's a money issue?
Yes, there's a money issue. There is an issue of protection of the workers in terms of how they handle bodies at the morgue. PPEs have been denied all over. As I speak, even yesterday before I came here, the whole morgue called me that they are not giving anything to protect themselves.
No PPEs?
In fact, no PPEs. Initially, when making the noise for PPEs, they will bring some. You know, PPEs, many of them are consumables. And so when you do them, you have to get. And if you bring one and you don't bring, then it means you are not providing.
So no PPEs, money issues?
Money issues, the coronavirus payment, which they have refused to do so. Issues about, let me go into one.
We don't have much time.
Yes.
So when is your meeting to resolve this issue?
In fact, as I speak to you, we have drafted a letter to be sent to various authorities who are charged with the responsibility of resolving the issue.
So why didn't you send a letter there before you threatened to go on strike?
What we have said is that we still have issues that are pending. And if government does not respond quickly, because we have done a lot of letters, we have taken all the avenues, we've gone through the process. But before you even strike, the law allows you to give your employer and the National Labour Commission 7 working clear days telling them your intention.
Okay. So when's your deadline beyond which you go on strike? If no action
I am not sure if I'll be able to tell you, but in the next 2 weeks, anything is likely to happen.
And 700 workers are likely to go on strike?
In fact, all the mortuaries will be closed.
If you don't get your action?
Yes.
Done?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, let me be frank. We have never shown the true color of mortuary workers in this country. What we have done is threat. Now we implement it. Because that's the decision we have taken, that now we have to implement the real action. At least for just about 2, 3, 4 weeks. Because now coronavirus bodies are all mixed up in the morgue. And everybody is taking risk. About 15 to 16 of our members have died from December to now as I speak.
From corona?
I'm not sure. Because you see, post-mortem, who does the post-mortem properly?
Okay.
Like our district hospital, who does it?
I'm surprised you didn't talk about training for your people as we are wrapping up.
Yes, the training is there. You see, there's an act of parliament passed in 1998, there's an agency now. There's an agency now called MOFA.
Yes.
Mortuaries and Funeral Facilities Agency.
And they will be training you guys?
Yes. Okay. In fact, their mandate is supposed to train, supposed to regulate, supposed to license even the practitioners. Okay. And take control of all this death thing. All right. From the point of death to final disposition. So the training part, I don't want to
go into that. They'll regulate.
Even, yes, exactly.
Okay.
They are there to do it.
All right.
They are seeking approval from Parliament to get this done and all that. So I want to leave that for them. But that is important also. Very, very important.
Richard Kofi Jordan, I wish I could talk with you the whole day on this. You're the General Secretary of the Mortuary Workers Association of Ghana. Is there anything I haven't asked you that you want to say before I end this?
Well, let me just take the opportunity to thank our mortuary workers in this country for their contribution to Mother Ghana. I'll call on them that anytime they see us talking about the strike, they should fully be involved. In fact, we want to really show who we are and show it well this time around.
My last question. Anytime you're working with the dead bodies, do you think one day that will be me?
Yes, even today. I was thinking about how I'm going to be handled. And that's, yes, even today. When I wake up, I watch my children and say, hey, assuming I go now, what happens? And dead bodies everywhere. The way people are dying, even scaring me. Every day, young people, 28, 30, young women, young men. What is happening? So it scares. But that is what we have accepted to serve. But it's scary when you see people are dying more. You don't know what is killing them.
Do you have hope?
Hope for what?
The future.
They say the world is coming to an end. So I'm not sure if we should be hoping for anything. Otherwise, you should hope for your life, that you do good all the time. That's all that you should be hoping for.
Richard Kofi Jordan, General Secretary of the Mortuary Workers Association of Ghana. Akbar.
Akpeno Haman. Kafui.
Hashtag GTV Breakfast. From matters of death to matters of life. Headlines after the social media corner with Jay and Valerie. So you stick around. That's coming up next. It's 7:05, and you are watching GTV Breakfast on the last day of January.